Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. This is Kristen, and today I am creating day 12 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, who has combined with or joined up with Scraptember with Laura Alberts and the Scrappy sisters. And Christy gives us the sketch, and this one is by, I believe, Brenda Ragsdale is what it says. And Scraptember gives us the prompt. So the prompt for today is Cutfile, which looks to be pretty easy for this layout, since it looks like they've already got a couple of cut files in the sketch. So I am going to be scrapbooking 2 pictures, and I picked these because I loved this layout, and I had some pictures that I could cut into 4x4 squares that were special to me. This is me, and we lost my grandmother in 2020, like right in the beginning of COVID, not due to COVID. She was 96, and so I'm sorry, 95. So I haven't been able to get her to her final resting place because of COVID and everything, and there's just been way too much going on. So just a few weeks ago, my mom and I took her to the cemetery to be put with my grandfather. And so I had these pictures that I took. I have some more of the actual mausoleum where she is with my grandfather. But these are the 2 I wanted to work with today because I knew they would fit in this concept. So this is the cut file that I am going to be using, and the paper, and I've got some lots of different family love, memories, remembrance. And I have this for my cut apart. So this is what we're going to work with, and let's see how it goes. So these are the different items I'm going to use, and I did say cut apart, I meant fussy cut. So this background paper that I am using in the very back mat is Uptown Flair by Paper Studios, and I had already put some double-sided tape on the back of my green paper, and the green paper that I have this cut file matted on is thinner. So normally, because that paper is so beautiful, I would have cut out the middle, but I have 3 sheets of it, well, 1.5 now. And I just didn't want that flimsiness with the pictures and everything I knew I'd be putting on the page, so I did not cut out that piece in the middle. So I fiddled with these 2 pictures, which I've double matted, once on a solid light pink and dark pink that match the flowers, and then because I didn't want it to disappear with a flower when it laid over it, I matted it on the same background paper that the whole thing is matted on, which is why I only have 1.5 pieces left. So I fought with the 2 pictures a lot because I wanted to make sure that all the flowers were a little visible, and then I pulled out the flowers that I had fussy cut from that Uptown Flair book. So normally I don't do a lot of cut files like this where you have to put things behind it that are intricate, just because I don't like all that detail in that kind of way. However, 1, this layout just called for it, and 2, these pictures were very important to me, and so I definitely was willing to take the extra time to mat the back of the flowers. But that's why I decided to do the green on green so that I didn't have to do it with the leaves. I did think afterwards, and I'll probably do something like this in the future, I could have cut that flower again with the hot pink, and then cut that flower again with the light pink and on my Cricut, and used the insides to fill those in without having to worry about all that fiddling and fussy cutting and stuff. So I didn't do that, and that's okay. But in the future I can. So I'm just showing that I am putting some foam squares back there behind those 2 flowers on the left. So it gives a little dimension to the page. And then I'm using my zig pen to stick the rest of that down so that they are tucked in good. And I use a zig pen to attach the leaves all around in the cut file, but I put a piece of double-sided tape behind each of the florals, one to keep the little pieces of floral down. I had glued them, but I wanted to give it a little extra security, but also so it would keep the bigger parts of the cut file down on that green paper. And then I just took the fussy cut flowers from that other piece of paper and tucked it in. I mostly did the white and the pink. The green ones are shiny. Can't really tell as much in this video, but they have like a shine and sheen to them. So I wanted to add a couple of those to give a little bit of shiny, just that pretty color tone. And it's a lighter green than what I've been working with, so it's not like it disappears into the page. So just finding places for all of these lovely little flowers, and some of them are a pain in the patootie to cut because they're super small and there's black in between all the flowers. So you had to really cut it out. I think there is at least one piece that still has a smidge of black in it, but I was okay with that because there's black all on the outside edge. So at least it brought it in that same thing. And some of the embellishments and stickers I use are also going to have some black. So I'm pulling out the embellishments I've looked through. This one I love, but it's red, and I didn't want to bring more in of the red. And I think it just says like memory or something like that, or beautiful. And yeah, it says, oh, one of a kind, which is super, super seriously true about my grandmother. She was definitely one of a kind and super missed in this, in the world, but definitely in our family. So I took the leaves off of this family tree, and I've used some of this for some other non-family related things, but I wanted to go ahead and use the leaves. And then there's this really perfect phrase on there that says, some people come and go in our lives, some stay forever. And that is very true. And then this one, the cork one that I just pulled out, it's not really cork, it's like cardboard. It came from the dollar store, and it says cherish is the one I pull off of there. And then from the Stickabilities, I pull out one that says family ties, because she definitely tied our family together. So I just want to cover a little bit of that space underneath the bottom picture because it looked empty, and I could have fussy cut some more flowers, but I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to put something there, and I definitely cherish my grandmother. And so then I got this really neat little, I don't even know what they're called, but it's like a little tile. It's a clear tile, and it has words that go under it, and it says remember. And so I put the remember down. That's what I'm doing right now, above those little flowers that are popped up. And then I got my double-sided tape because I never can determine how the best way to put down this clear enamel cover. But I put double-sided tape down thinking it would clear up, and it may have had I put it down and like pushed it down real good, but I just wasn't certain, and I didn't want it to make it foggy looking. So I decided just to leave the little tag the way it is, but you know, can't leave those little holes there, would look silly. So I got 2 of my Park Lane gemstones, and I put them in the 2 little holes. So anything pink, everything pink. My grandmother's favorite color was pink and gold. So I did not put any gold on here, but I did do the pink, lots and lots of pink, and of course she loves flowers. So here's where I pull the Stickability sticker out that says family ties. And I'm going to stick that over there on the right in that empty spot next to my picture with her box. And she and I were very, very close. we spoke on the phone every night at 9 o'clock and updated each other on how things were going. And at 95 years old, well, she passed away the morning after her 95th birthday. So at 94 years old, she didn't do a whole lot, but I certainly updated on the weather in Texas often. So now I put down this: some people come and go in our lives, some stay forever. And I put that where the journaling is called for on that sketch. And I felt like that was good enough journaling. There is going to be another page that goes with this. So I figured that that would be enough, and I will put more details on that, talking about my grandpa being there and my grandmother deciding to be cremated. And I may even tell the funny story about my grandma not wanting to be in the ground because she doesn't like snakes and worms. So she ended up in a mausoleum, and so she was one of a kind. So I decided to finish off the page with some Park Lane gemstones in the pink and green. I didn't want to use any of the big green ones because they are very green, and the little ones look a little bit more of a lighter green. So I just put 3 different places and 3 different gemstones with the 2 different sizes. And I feel like I'm going to call this done because I really love the way this looks. I'm super happy with it. And I hope that you all will watch the rest of the day 12 videos from everyone posting. It is an amazing thing, and I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Happy